What's good?
Cam, how you doing, baby?
I'm hanging in there, man. How's it going?
Oh, good. You're on the air.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. I wonder if people can hear me on the stream. Oh, yeah, I can hear myself now.
Yeah, it's coming
I
through.
need to shut that off so there's not an echo. What's going on,
Yes.
man?
Dude, I'm just hanging out. I'm really bummed that this calling thing is not working.
Oh, they're blowing it. It's Google. It's not you, man. It's Google.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's just, I don't know if Google Voice can handle that many calls coming in for some reason. It was the
Yeah,
same
I
thing
hear you,
last
man.
stream, same thing this time. I don't understand. But enough about that. How's your evening going, dude?
Oh, man, it's going good. I went to a car dealership with a friend
Oh, yeah?
and wasted a bunch of time, and now I'm just taking it, man. Just sitting at the house and about to waste time.
Hey,
About to do
lovely.
nothing.
Beautiful. Just do a whole
About to
bunch of
hit the
nothing.
jewel.
Hey.
About to just sit here hitting the jewel.
Yeah, hey, hit that jewel, enjoy that shit. Yes, sir. Where are you
Oh,
calling us
man.
from?
Frisco.
From Frisco, Texas.
Close to
That's
you,
about
man. Yeah,
25 minutes north.
I know, man. I found you on Reddit a while ago, and was I was like creeping on your YouTube, watching videos and stuff, and I was like, man, that looks like what is it called? The Brain Dead Brewery.
Yes,
And I was like, that guy's from Dallas.
you were absolutely right.
Small world, man. That's good shit, though, man. I enjoy your videos of you getting wild in the stew.
Thanks, Cam. Well, listen, dude. You know you're on the line, and you know the topic for the evening.
Confession time. Well, this is it, man. So I'm 25. I no longer have a job as of 3 days ago.
Oh,
It feels great.
ooh.
It was all planned out. The company I work for is sold, so I'm no longer employed. It feels amazing. The semester ends pretty soon at school. Moved back into my mom's place for like a month, and my quality of life has improved tenfold. I'm chilling, man.
Since leaving
I've
the
got so
job?
much free time. Yeah,
Wow.
hell yeah. I've got as much free time as I want. I'm watching movies. I'm trying to rewatch Dragon Ball Z.
Mm.
Just hanging out.
Man,
So it's
that's a
nice.
lovely
That's
thing.
my confession, though, man. I had this weird event, a series of events unfold, and all is well, man. That's my confession.
You're
I'm
jobless
back
and
at my mom's
happy.
house, and I'm happy. Yeah.
You know what?
I couldn't
I
be
like
happier.
that. I like that because generally, you know, you think about, well, he's out of a job and he's living with his mom as something that really has a negative stigma attached to it.
Yeah, no.
But
They're roommates, man. It's my roommates now.
yeah, roommates since those fetus days, man.
Something like that.
Well, I'm really glad you're taking it well, and I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad that leaving the job was a good thing. And what's the journey from here? What's the trajectory?
I'm gonna finish out this semester. I applied for a bunch of random stuff, so I'll hear from something soon. If I don't grab a job at a restaurant, I'm going to Hang Up Fest, like a big music festival in Gulf Shores.
Oh,
In like 2 weeks, I'm gonna be gone for like a week, and then I'm coming back, and then I have to actually find like a real job. But I'm chilling, man. I'm taking some time off, some me time.
beautiful. You got to do you. Take some deep breaths. Enjoy being alive.
That's it. That's it. Maybe I'll pick up an instrument or something. You inspired me, man. I tired in Ableton a long time ago. Hopefully, NSC is listening right now. They already know. I pirated Ableton a while ago, so maybe I'll play around in the stew.
Perfect.
Try to cook something up, man. I think it's like a launch pad or something though. After watching all your stuff, I'm like, man, I can do that.
Yeah, dude. Of course
I
you
feel
can.
inspired. I feel
Anyone
inspired.
can do it. Well, I'm glad to hear
Well,
that,
well,
Cam.
I'm gonna go. I've got some dinner to eat, some people to talk to, but I hope you can take calls. I saw like 5 phone numbers in that chat on YouTube, and I started trying to call one of them, but I got the phone call from you before I actually hit the call button.
Okay, I
So
see. Well, I'm going to do my best to get it working, and if not, I'll probably just tell people to do what you did and direct message me on Instagram with their number so that I can call them back.
and everybody stop posting your fucking numbers in the comments.
Yeah.
because like it's probably linked to your Facebook account, and you can look at like
Yeah, random people
everything
will call you
on there.
You don't want
Yeah,
that.
because I'm calling everybody that's
Yeah.
posting numbers on there. So, all right, man. Well, I love you. Have a great night, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Cam, you have a lovely evening. Take it easy and call back anytime, dude.
All right, bye.
See ya. Okay, so you guys heard, you know the deal. This is what's going on. I'm going to right here in the chat. In fact, what I'm going to do not, Connor, don't put your number in the chat. Stop doing that, y'all. That's not a good idea. But what I'm going to do, now just wait. Hold on a second, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to send your number, okay? You're going to send your number, direct message it to me, to my Instagram, and I'm going to call people, okay? One by one, I'm going to make the calls. It seems like that's the only way to make this work right now, which is a real shame. I'm very sorry. Kristen, I'm definitely going to get you on the line. And give me just a moment. In fact, what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to go DM number 2. Yeah. And then we're going to do it. We're going to pop that right there. Okay. I'm very sorry I can't take calls. This is some real horse shit. I'm very sad about that. But we're going to make calls. So let's see here. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Marc.
Oh, well, hello there.
¿Cómo estás?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm one of those lazy people today.
Oh, yeah?
I've been resting. I had a second surgery this morning. So,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, like all day. And then I saw your live stream and just thought it was a great thing to do while I'm just chilling.
Well, tell me about this surgery. What's going on? I mean, if you don't mind divulging.
Yeah, no problem. My confession is kind of related to that anyway. So I had a golf ball sized tumor removed from my breast, and they had to go back in because the biopsy showed that there were some like questionable cells. The tumor was benign, but there was these weird cells called phalloides, which if anyone's heard of it, it comes back pretty aggressively. So they had to go back in and get out the tissue that was around the tumor.
Oh, no.
And well, the good thing is now that it's over, this is well beyond the safety zone, so I shouldn't have any issue after this.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's not.
Yeah.
We're not looking at some sort of long-term debacle, years-long struggle with this thing.
Yeah, I knock on wood, that's not going to happen. But this is definitely like made me want to be a little healthier because I think everything's kind of related to diet and, how you live the life and kind of a wake-up call. I'm only 26, and it's just crazy that this stuff can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't.
Well, my confession, though.
Oh, I'm ready.
So, here's the thing. If, and only if, this does come back, I would have to get a double mastectomy.
Really?
And in that case, through insurance, I can get a boob job. So, that's the bright side.
Insurance would cover a boob job.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting situation in which, like, insurance would cover a cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, would that be something that, like, outside of this, let's say this never happened, were you ever interested in a boob job?
Honestly, not really. So this has kind of been like this is something that's been like, oh, well, okay, why not, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
So if I go for it, I'm getting some boobies.
Getting some new boobies.
Yeah. Shoot doobies.
Some newbies, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man. Well, shit, I'm sorry. That's got to be rough. How did the surgery go today?
It went really well. I'm awake.
You sound
I had
great.
really good doctors and yeah.
For the audience, this is someone I know. We go way back, and I don't want to say your name to put you out there, but this is a caller who I've spoken to many times in the past, a good friend who I've actually never met in real life, but I feel like we know each other fairly well.
Yeah, I think it's been about. Well, I think it was around 2012 that I saw you for the first time online.
Yeah. I've been a little internet whore ever since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I always knew you were special, Mark.
What's that?
Your days are coming. I always knew you were special, Mark. Your days are coming.
Well, thank you.
And
We'll
want to
see.
meet you one of these days.
Listen, you just got to keep putting the work in, and if something happens, it happens, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But you have an outstanding voice. I'm sure it's growing richer, deeper, and more beautiful with every passing day. And I am astounded by your positivity throughout this surgery thing. I think that's really cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always good to stay positive.
Yes, it is. And, aside from diet and health and all that, I think attitude and perspective has a lot to do with health as well.
Totally.
Your brain affects your body, and the way you feel, I think, affects your body a lot.
Yeah, I felt that way, actually, as soon as I got home from that first surgery with that tumor out, I really felt like there was a mental connection with that tumor, having to do with a mental state or something having to do with what's going on in the mind. I think it's definitely connected. So glad to be having that out and looking forward to making some changes.
Yeah, that's great, man. Kudos. I admire you.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Oh, you're patient. So.
Well, listen, we got to catch up outside of a live stream soon.
Definitely, most definitely.
Okay. Well, listen, just take it easy, relax. You fucking earned it, and hit me up. We'll catch up sometime.
All right, Mark. Take care. Have a good
talk to you later. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What a lovely human being. Lovely human being. Great energy, great attitude. It's a really lovely thing to see. You can also email me your number if you like. Someone has done that already. And that is my first and last name, just as it is on there, at gmail.com. So you're welcome to do that as well if you'd like me to call you. This is kind of nice. Okay. I'm going to give a call to another anonymous caller. I will never reveal your information. Your secrets are safe. You're anonymous. I'm calling you.
Hello?
Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Oh, he's calling. Really? Yeah.
Yeah. You guys want
the
to
speaker.
turn the volume down on the video?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
What's up?
How's it going, man?
All right. Kinda rough.
Oh yeah, what's been going on? You want to talk about it?
So for like the past 5 months, I've just taken like 3 pretty big losses. January, my dad left, and then March, I lost my girlfriend, and then like 2 weeks ago, my little sister moved out. So
Oh,
keep taking L's.
man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Now, when you say in January your dad left, did he uh can you elaborate on that?
So he was living with my family, but then just kind of fell out with my mom and just moved out.
Now, were your are your mom and dad still married, or were they divorced at this point?
They're married still, but
They are still married.
not together.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea why, or what caused that to happen?
My mom's been kind of crazy for a while, but I guess my dad just finally had enough and
Hmm.
left.
Are you currently living with your mom?
No, I moved out a little while ago, but I go back and forth. I live at school, but I go back and forth. So I'm moving back into summer in about like 2 weeks, so
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
dealing with that.
And are you going to school in the same area that you live? Is it the same like region?
Yeah, it's about an hour away.
Okay, I see. And how are you getting along with your mom? You said she's been acting kind of crazy. Has that affected your relationship with her?
Yeah, I'd say, but I just try and push that aside because she's kind of wrecked right now with everybody leaving her, so I gotta stick with it, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a big thing of you to do, I think, to like sort of push aside the bullshit and, you know, be with her
Yeah,
when she needs someone, right?
yeah, 'cause she like, was there for me, so when I was little, raising me, so I gotta put that aside and be there for her.
Man, I feel that. I respect that. That's
Thanks.
yeah. That's lovely. Now, what about on your dad's side? Do you have contact with him? Do you keep in touch with him?
Yeah, it's like texting, mainly. I've been to where he's living like once now, but I just kind of text him.
Well, let me ask you about your dad leaving. Now, I know you said he did it because it was really hard for him to you know continue getting along with your mom. But do you feel um, how do you feel about your dad doing that? Are you angry at him for
Um,
it? Or
I'm not really angry. I mean, he was like the main breadwinner of the family, so he was like doing a lot, but she was throwing a lot of shit in his face, so I could see where he just felt like shit while doing so much, so you gotta cut your losses every once in a while and dip, I guess.
yeah. Is it you and you said you have a sister?
Yeah, I have 2 full sisters and 1 half sister. My half sister lives in a while away, but the 2 younger sisters I was living with, yeah.
Now, did your father talk to you and your siblings about this before he made this decision? Do you know how he feels about this, as it pertains to you kids?
Um, so what happened was I was living in Florida for 4 months,
Hmm.
And I came back, and like 3 days later, we're all in the kitchen. He's like, yeah, so I'm moving, and that was about it.
Oh man, I bet that was a hard thing to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that conversation go?
Um, it was really, really weird because I kind of just took it as like, okay, see you later, whatever, I understand. But everyone else was really torn up about it, so it was kind of awkward, really awkward actually, come to think of it. But I don't know, just kind of going on my own with it.
Hmm. Do you know where he moved to?
Yeah, he's still like in the same area, but I think it's about like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but still jarring.
Well, I really hope you don't. You, you know, I very much hope you don't blame yourself for this in any
Oh no,
way.
no, no,
Okay, good.
no.
It's pretty. Yeah, it seems like it's definitely has to do with your mom, right? More than anything.
Oh yeah, mainly, most definitely her.
Hmm. Well, I mean, what do you think? What's the what's the plan with this going forward?
Um, Apparently there's a family vacation scheduled in June, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever really work back to ever being fully together.
Oh boy, did you have a happy childhood?
Yeah, I guess, for the most part, maybe. I don't know. Nothing really to compare it to, so.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, you have fairly good memories of your childhood and of your parents being together.
Yeah, my dad traveled a lot, so that was uh, interesting, but my mom was there a lot.
I see. Yeah. So would you say you're closer with your mom than you are with your dad?
No, that's the weird thing. I think I'm a lot closer with my father than my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. You know, I have a similar sort of, well, I don't know if I feel closer to my dad than I do my mom. It's just sort of this situation that's happened with my dad recently that makes me feel closer to him. But I always felt very close to my dad, even though he traveled a lot when I was a kid, too. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I think just because when he was here, he showed me a lot of love, you know?
Yeah. Put in a lot of work.
Yeah, that's right. Your dad did the same for you?
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Well, look, dude, I mean, I think the only thing I can say is just try to hold on to all of that goodness that you have been lucky enough to have had, you know, throughout your life. And I don't know, it's just one of those things when you see things like this happen that just, it really makes you aware of the fact that your parents are just people, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're
Can't
just
get mad at that.
flawed people, just like
Yeah,
us.
everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. That was something strange that happened to me when I just, like, you know, over a certain period of time, you just grow to realize that, like, these are just people who have wants and desires and loves, and, you know, they happen to have you, but they've all made mistakes,
Yeah.
and
There's a past before you were even thought of.
a long past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, man, I'm really sorry to hear that, and I can only hope that, you know, everything works out, whether or not that means them getting back together, whether it means, you know, them separating, whatever is the best for them individually, I think will ultimately probably be the best for you and your siblings, you know?
Yeah, a lot more healthier.
Yeah, for sure. Because the alternative is what? Them staying together through this and then what? Being miserable? You know?
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Right.
Nobody.
Oh. Well, I wish you the best of luck with this, dude.
Well, thank you, my man.
Yeah. hopefully I'll be trying to do these call-in streams more often on different topics, varying subjects and whatnot. You're welcome to call in any time. I really enjoyed talking to you, dude.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Love talking to you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, have a lovely evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream and hang in there, dude. It's going to be all good. It's just life.
Oh, yeah. It all works out.
Yeah, it does. All right, brother. Well, take it easy.
You too, man. Catch you later.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. I do hope it all works out with him. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Ah, okay. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure. There's someone who'd like to call me from the Netherlands, but I don't know if I can do a European call. Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, it looks like Netherlands, LM, and oh yeah. I think we got this. All right, let's try to make a call to the Netherlands here. Let's see. So that's that. And then six. Oh, yeah. Oh, I would need credit. I see. I would need credit. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm going to give someone a call here.
Hello there.
Well, hello
It is
there.
I, Salk.
You made it.
Yes, I have.
Hey, glad to have you on the stream.
You're the highlight of my day, man. You have no idea.
Have you not had a great day?
I haven't had a great 4 years.
Oh, no.
My confession is pretty simple and straightforward. I have a lovely mother and father. My mother, unfortunately, had gotten lung cancer despite never smoking in her life. We went through with the surgery, removed one lung, thought it was over. Then she had a staph infection for about 36 days. From there, things got complicated in the hospital, but she pulled through. You wouldn't even know that she had her lung removed after the next couple of months, but she pulled through. Unfortunately, the cancer reared its ugly head a year and a half later. So much so it started to not get in the brain, but around the brain. They call it the meningia. And initially, they didn't see it. What happened was the MRI was seeing through it. It was like a film, because there was no tumors. It was just the particles of the cancer cells. So, of course, through all this, I was planning on moving out before all this happened, but I decided to stay in and take care of the family. It's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
It makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
And it's been going on and off for the last couple of years. She's fighting a good fight, but in the process, I find myself isolated from the rest of the world. I make up the most of it by just taking care of things on Reddit. I actually mobbed the video page where you went viral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like you. You're the weird kid that was down in school eating the paste, but you were left alone and you developed into something wonderful.
I like that. I like that image of me. The reality is much less interesting and exciting. I was just a blabbermouth that wouldn't shut up. Um,
Mm.
but okay. So tell me. So what is the state of your mother's health currently?
Right now, she's able to walk with a cane, but she needs help getting up and down the stairs, of course.
Hmm.
She's having issues. Something about touching a nerve or something in the brain has developed some hearing loss in her right ear. No, her left, my mistake.
Oh, I see.
And, well, she's also on some, just beta testing drugs right now. Sort of specialized, genetically tailored chemotherapy drug. It's very state of the art. And, of course, it's not supposed to interact with other drugs, but we're trying it anyways.
Yeah.
We're basically lab ratting the situation as we go. But otherwise, she seems to be well adjusted and put together. We just don't like the idea of having her left alone in the house in case she falls or something else.
Of course.
A lot of steps around the house and a lot of smooth surfaces and sharp edges.
Oh
But
boy. Well, now what? And now,
it's
and
the
you said
responsible thing to do.
your dad is still with y'all, still there, living there as well.
Absolutely. He's an engineer by day, contractor by the evening. He prefers the contracting stuff, but he's close to retiring anyways. So it's likely that I'll take over that sort of thing.
I see. And do you think that does he express his gratefulness for having you there to help?
He does. But at the same time, if I'm being perfectly honest, it feels like I've given up part of my life so that he could live more of his.
Oh, really?
But it's okay because, like I said, I don't really have anything else going on in my life. While this was all happening, the one person I cared about most, she broke up with me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
We knew that it wouldn't work out, but she was the one to kind of just make the delivery. I kind of thought part of it could still work.
Yeah.
But it's okay. If it's her choice, I can't be mad at her for wanting to live a free life.
Well, that's good of you. I think you're right. It's as much as it hurts. I think forcing something to go on when you know it shouldn't is maybe more hurtful than just severing it.
That's how it goes in life. She, of course, still wants to be friends. She sees my mother as quite the inspiration.
Oh yeah, how is that? How so?
Well, she's able to still maintain her composure, she feels like, and sees her for somebody that's still living her life to the fullest, still wanting to do things on her own, despite the fact my father and I are more than willing to help her with things. She'll go up. She's still cooking meals for us, even though we've more than offered. I'm quite a competent cook.
Yeah.
I guess she just doesn't like what I put on it.
Oh, I see. But that's very admirable. Her ambition to remain independent, and that's
Her fighting spirit.
yeah, the fighting spirit. That's right. Let me ask you something. Do you have you ever leveled with your dad about the way you feel in this situation? That you feel like you've sacrificed a lot for this?
I believe I have, but I just don't think he's in a position to really do anything about it. I thought about taking a trip of my own. They recently went to Europe, one for the bucket list sort of thing, and I can't blame them for that. Someone has to take care of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, Mr. Responsible here, trying to make things work out there. And I think he's starting to see that, just doesn't know how to do it. I'm, an odd person to figure out if I'm kept to myself, and I'm not usually that social anyways to begin with.
Well, do you think I mean, when you look at this situation and when you sort of project out into the future a little bit, how do you see this going? Are you sad because you don't really see an end to it, or is there some light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, the light at the end of the tunnel seems like a dark one if we're being really realistic about things. Sometime in the future, she may very well pass, and from there, part my separate ways with the family and try to move on to my own life. But it's been my life for so long, I can't really see what would be different. What would be that new horizon? That's the quote-unquote good side. The other side is that she continues to live a long and healthy life, but still struggling with the daily stuff. She will have to take routine chemo rounds for quite a long period of her life, presumably the remainder, unless something radical changes in the medical fields.
Yeah. Man. That's tough. I can relate in some way. I'm taking care of my dad. It's why I moved back to Dallas here, and um, you know, I just have this like this horrible anxiety about leaving him, even though I know it's something that I will have to do in the near future, for myself, and the fact that my being here is really not doing him it's starting to do him less and less good, and there will be no sense to me being here essentially in a short while. And but the thought of leaving this responsibility and leaving him, even though he would have no idea, is just fucking terrifying to me.
That is pretty terrifying. But let me ask you one question, though. Will he remember you helping him out?
No, of course not.
Oh, no.
No.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
That is my nightmare scenario, too. At
Yeah.
one point, when in the worst phases of things, she wasn't able to recognize me for a brief moment. It came down to sodium levels in her body. It made her less loopy and coherent.
Oh, really?
And I was prepared for her to die on the table, but in that brief moment where she didn't know who I was and was screaming at me, "No, I don't know you. No, I don't know you." That is horrifying, and I don't wish that on my worst enemies, and I certainly don't wish that on you, my friend.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. Luckily, it's beyond. I say luckily. I guess luckily within the context of my situation, it's beyond the point of communication at all. So it's there's not even any conversation. So it's I've learned to love and have a relationship with this new person, but still it's just, and it's really a selfish thing, but it's the thought of me leaving him that is, I don't know how to deal with it, but I'm gonna have to. But it's, I don't know. It's selfish because really, at the end of the day, he has no idea. So it's like I've got to get over myself, really. Yeah.
The one comforting thing I'll tell you is when I was explaining these moments to my mom, she doesn't remember any of the hospital visits, any of the physical therapy. She doesn't remember months of the recovery process.
Oh, really?
And she doesn't remember the pain. She doesn't remember the tough moments. But she has the frustration of just being suddenly there and not being able to do what she used to do. So it's safe to assume that the same could be happening with your father. That he's just, in a blink of an eye, teleported from one thing to the next without the recollection and without all that discomfort.
Oh, boy, I hope so. I really, really hope so, for his sake, And I also hope for you and for your mother's sake that all that pain is forgotten,
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, I want you to look on the bright side of life. And if there's one thing I could quietly request, there's the song by the Avalanches, Frankie Sinatra.
Yes.
I think you could kill a cover of that, like your own take of that.
Oh, that'd be an
I
interesting
can just
cover.
see you going as an over-caffeinated wild man to that song.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoy that song, so maybe I'll try it sometime.
Well, Mark, there's plenty of other people that are desperate to get your attention, and I'll let them have it, okay? You
I
pull through,
appreciate
man.
that, man. And
Fight
listen,
the good fight,
you too.
and I'll fight with you.
Yes, and you just we have to continue to remember that to keep our heads above the suffocating waters of like the you know, we can let ourselves sort of drown in thought and in wallow in sort of emotion, but the truth is, and I say this all the time because I really feel it to be true, we are all just here living on this earth, and as long as we can be grateful for that and be grateful to be alive, then we can regain some perspective and just find happiness in the everyday reality of being here.
Indeed. Finding that pursuit is never ending, but it is always good to have an adventure like that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Man, thank you so much for letting it out with me, and you're welcome to hit me up anytime I'm live again and shoot the shit. Would love to have you on the show again.
Of course. Appreciate it all the way.
Take it easy, man. Good luck to your mom.
You too. Fight the good fight.
See ya. All right, let's see what we have. I kind of like this. Okay. I'm going to make a call here, and let's see what happens.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
You're on the air.
Awesome.
Hey. It's good to have you on the show. What you doing? What's up? What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just sitting here watching your show.
Yeah, just hanging out, having a little easy Tuesday?
Yeah, long day at work.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where are you calling from, if you don't mind my asking?
From Somerville, South Carolina.
Ooh, Somerville, South Carolina.
Yep.
Is it a pretty day out there?
It was, yeah.
Huh? Well, what was rough about work today?
Just a long day, meeting with families and the funeral business.
The funeral business.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, tell me what you do in the funeral business.
I'm a chapel administrator there, so it's a lot of paperwork and talking to families.
Oh, wow. Man, I bet you have to deal with a lot of very heavy hearts and a lot of tears.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it takes a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion, and patience.
Now, this is something I've always wanted to ask to someone who works in the funeral business, and especially the quote-unquote customer-facing side of it. But how do you manage that emotionally?
Right. Well, I hate to say, that you get desensitized, but in a way that's kind of what it is. Kind of like, with doctors and nurses and everything.
Yeah.
You gotta, it takes some time, but you learn to deal with it, and it's nice to help people.
So instead of sort of letting yourself be overcome by like the grief and sadness, you just take pleasure in the help.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I could also imagine that, yeah, like just being exposed to loss after loss after loss, you become sort of numb to it in a way, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, but you got to remind yourself that, everybody dies, and I'm going to have family and friends that die, so I have to, try and keep that in mind when I'm dealing with people.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, do you have something you'd like to confess pertaining to your work, or confess in general?
Well, really, it's just that I really like my job, and I know people think that's weird when I say that. But yeah, I do. And it's we've had a lot of you've had a lot of people call in with kind of sad stories,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here thinking, well, I work in a sad business, but I like it.
I love it. That's great. Now, but and tell me why. I mean, what interested you in the funeral business, and why did you get into it in the first place?
I get that question a lot.
I bet you
And,
do.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm an artist. That was, what I always wanted to be, was an artist when I grew up. But, starving artist, you you get that a lot when, you think about doing that.
Yep.
But
Tell me about it.
I thought, let me think of something that I can, be creative, but also, help people and be empathetic. And so that's what I decided to try and get into.
Was there anything? Can you remember any singular sort of stimulus that moved you in the direction of? I mean, because there are a lot of industries in which you can help people, but was there something that drove you towards the funeral business, specifically?
I remember when I was in high school was the first time I thought about it, and I guess it was, I'd never actually been to a funeral, and I always thought that death was something nobody ever talks about, but it's important. So I thought, it'd be a good business to get into.
Ah, that's awesome. It makes me very happy to know that you love your job.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it takes a very particular kind of person to do that work.
Yeah. I hear that a lot too.
Yeah. But you seem like you have a sunny disposition and a good attitude. It just makes me happy. It's great.
Yeah. I try and be positive and, try and smile.
That's great. Everyone should try to do that, funeral business or not.
That's right.
So walk me through a day at work. You get there, what do you do? Walk me through your day.
Well, I get there. I'm alone a lot of the time. I do have a funeral director that works with me, but, he has to go to some of our other locations and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, sometimes we'll meet with families, talk about what they desire as far as funeral arrangements. I'll do the paperwork, do the death certificate, try and help them out through the process, and, just one at a time.
So you will generate the death certificate?
Right, yeah.
And what is that, just like a template? Is it such a specific question to be asking, but it's like you plug it into Photoshop and plug in the name, or what?
Well, we get the information, from the family, and I don't know how they do it in all the states, but in this state, the health department, they have a website. We go in and we put in the information, and then the doctor signs the death certificate electronically, and then we just get them from the health department and give them to the family.
Oh, okay. So it gets delivered to you?
Well, we go pick them up.
Oh, you pick them up. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The intricacies of the funeral business.
Yeah, there's a lot of details that people don't think about, but yeah.
Is there anything, perhaps any little story, event happening without divulging anything too, incriminating, that you could tell us, something memorable about your career?
Oh, goodness. I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, I see a lot of things that are disturbing, and I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing. Like I told Kyle, he's the guy I've been dating. He actually introduced me to your channel and everything here.
Well, I love Kyle.
Which is great. Yes, shout out to Kyle.
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like to see men cry, like especially older people, like when their wives die or something. They're like 90 years old.
Oh.
That makes me sad.
Oh boy, yeah, like just their life partner.
Yeah, yeah,
Just seeing someone very, very vulnerable there.
yep, yep. See that a lot.
I agree. That's a very that isn't that strange? That's maybe it's because we have these really sort of deeply rooted sense of masculinity tied to men, and especially men who have been married a long time, and to see them in that vulnerable place is just like especially heartbreaking.
Yes, it is. It is, and I mean that's something that I see with all kinds of people, but I don't know why that one affects me particularly. And most people, you say, like children, things like that, which is tough.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. That, yeah.
The old man.
Mhm.
Boy. Man, well, this was great. I can't thank you enough for calling. Well, for allowing me to call you and for telling me about your funeral days. This is a fascinating line of work. I've never had the opportunity to talk to anybody like this before.
Yeah, if you ever have questions about it, just hit me up and I'll be glad to help out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be sure to write you down as a reference. If we ever in a future live stream run into a funeral related question, I'm going to be calling you.
Okay, great.
Hey, well, thanks for talking with us. Thanks for confessing, and yeah, feel free to hit me up to call you back. Well, hopefully I'll have a working call-in line, in order sometime in the future. So feel free to call in anytime.
Okay, great. Thanks. I love your stuff.
Thank you. Keep tuning in, and thanks for tuning in.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. How fascinating. Okay. Let's see here. Guys, just again to remind you, we've got a problem with the call-in service, and so I'm asking people to either direct message me on Instagram. Oh, excuse me, I just had a little burp. Or, okay. Oh boy, we've got a lot. Okay. Let's make some calls. If you've messaged me and I'm not able to get to you, I apologize. I've got upwards of 70 requests, which I obviously won't be able to get to them all, but I will keep these numbers, and if we have another confession episode in the future, I'll make sure to call those numbers first. Anyway, here we go.
Hello?
Well, hello there. You're on the air.
Hi. Wow, wasn't expecting you to call me so soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You were one of the newest messages. Sorry, I just opened this thing up and took a look, and you showed up.
And here I am.
Here you are. Happy to have you on the air. How's your day been?
Oh. It's been a pretty good day. I can't complain. I actually just got home from work.
Oh, how was work?
Work is cool.
Yeah.
I actually, I work in real estate, mortgages. I remember you saying you used to do that.
Oh, yeah. Do you do? What, underwriting?
It's like that. It's like, it's kind of dry and boring, so I won't go into detail, but basically I help fix the loans after they close, because a lot of times there's something wrong with them. So
Oh, okay, I see. It's like quality control in a way.
yeah, basically if you want to resell your mortgage for money, which is how most companies make their profit, that's the investor will be like, this is wrong, you did this wrong, you need to fix it or get this signed or whatever. So it's my job to
Ah.
fix it.
Oh, I see. How do you like the work?
I've been in mortgages for about 5 years now. I want to get into more underwriting, but I like it, and more importantly, like I really like my boss, and I get along with my coworkers, so it's like very low stress.
Okay, yeah,
So
that is really the important thing for sure. Is
yeah, definitely.
just like enjoying the people you're around. Much more important than the job, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I was in sales before. That's how I got into mortgages, and it was super stressful, and it just like was not a good quality of life. So
Oh, I
I like what
see.
I'm doing now.
Well, you know the topic today.
Yes, I do. Um, so first of all, since I'm talking to you, I love you. I think you're freaking genius.
Thank you.
You always make me smile. So, do you want like a sad topic or just like a weird one? Like, I don't know how
Whatever.
depressing we want to get it.
Oh man, listen. Whatever is juiciest, whatever is most pressing on your mind, whatever you want to get out is what I want to hear.
Okay. So I always thought that if this came up, this would be like the perfect avenue to do this because I've never um said this to anyone before, at least like sober.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah. And it's like totally not anonymous, so maybe it'll be kind of therapeutic. Um, so when I was 19 and in college, I was raped.
Oh man.
Yeah. And that's is actually how I lost my virginity.
Oh,
And that's always like
Jesus.
it kind of colored all of my, I guess, my experiences going forward in that way. Like I feel like almost everything is like reflected back to that. It's been a long time. I'm 31 now, so
And but
um
you said that, I mean, it, like, that experience you feel like has reverberated through all of your future sexual encounters?
oh yeah, no question.
Really?
Yeah, it just well, it just totally kind of changes your whole perception about it. It just, I mean, I definitely didn't get the help that I needed, but I wish I had gotten initially. I definitely just kept it inside. Um and just was, went through, I guess, all the things like grief and anger and all those things that you go through. It definitely, I was just like, oh, well, whatever, I'm not a virgin anymore. I'll just sleep with whoever because it doesn't matter, which isn't true, but, that's kind of like, plus I kind of had like a religious upbringing, so you kind of think like, oh, you're like a bad person now. So you have to
Yeah.
like deal with all those things. Um, so yeah, it definitely affected like all my relationships going forward. And I think in a way it still does, like not as deeply, but
Ha-
like it still comes up.
well, what I mean, have you, because what's so interesting to me about it seems to me that a lot of rape victims do not they don't get the help that they really do need because of either, like soon after the event, because I don't know why. I mean, why do you think did you just feel like no one would understand, or did you feel scared to tell people, or what?
It's a combination of things. It's like it's just you feel there's so much, I think, shame around sex in our culture in general. So I think there's that. Um and then I was like really, really drunk at the time, so I still to this day blame myself for it because I was inexperienced with pretty much everything in life, which I think is what usually happens, and like you're this young naive girl. And so I drank too much at my friend's apartment, which we were told it was a party. It wasn't. It was just like a few guys, but I drank too much and I just passed out, and when I woke up it was already happening. So I just I think when something bad happens to you, you kind of, at least for me, I spend like all the time dissecting it and analyzing it and thinking like, if I should turn left instead of right, just thinking about all the ways I could have avoided the situation. So it
Yeah.
just kind of builds up, and you just feel really, at least for me, I just felt so much guilt over it. And I felt like I let a lot of people in my life down. I felt like I was a bad daughter. I let my parents down. I never told them.
Wow.
Um, it's it's easier in a lot of ways to tell people you're not close to, actually, because you don't have to worry about breaking any perception of yourself, or
Which is
or
so,
having to like change
and
how they see you.
yeah, which I understand that, but on the other hand, it's like I would hope and feel that the people around you who love you, you would never ever get a reaction like that because it's so clearly not your fault, like, and uh, the fear that you would be perceived differently, but I don't know. I'm speaking from a place of ignorance, and it's certainly possible that if you were to come out with it, that people would perceive you differently for some demented reason. Um, but that makes no sense to me. What I mean? It's something that happened to you.
It's I think, like I said, I think there's a lot of layers to it, and I think especially as a woman, like I think boys and girls are definitely taught like to perceive sex differently.
Hmm.
Like especially if you grow up like in like more religious background, you're taught that like your body and your virginity is like a gift that you give to a man. It's something that a woman is supposed to keep, and like a man kind of tries to take from you. I'm not saying these things are healthy or that they should be taught that way.
But
Um,
it's what you were taught growing up.
it's kind of like an impression that you come up with. So if you kind of have that viewpoint, or that's kind of ingrained into you, then you feel like a lot of shame around it. And like I said, I more kind of blame myself for being put in that situation. It's victim blaming, which you should never do. But like, I'm the kind of person that's like hard on myself anyway,
Mm.
and usually harder than other people are. So I'm just like, I still think, oh my gosh, sorry, wow, this was so long ago, and like still, um, yeah, but it's it it's something like I wouldn't have understood unless I went through it, like all the things that you feel and why you don't want people to know, and it's
Yeah.
easier to just kind of sit down. Um, like obviously now it's easier to look back as an older person and be like, that guy was just a scumbag. Like no reasonable person would see a passed out girl and think like, oh, it's totally okay to start having sex with her.
Right.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
obviously that's not cool, but um, you know, especially in that moment, in that time, I definitely felt like I couldn't tell anyone. And I wish I had, because I feel like things in my life would have turned out like a lot differently,
You
between
do.
now
You
and then.
now retroactively, you do wish you had told, confided in someone.
Oh yeah, I definitely wish I had at least gotten counseling,
Yeah.
like on campus, yeah, and probably like told some of my closer friends. I was like a freshman, so I didn't have like super close friends, but I wish I had at least gotten counseling.
Boy. Well, what do you? I mean, is it something that you feel you've dealt with enough? Like what I'm trying to say is like, is it something now, years on, that you feel like you've dealt with enough that you don't think it would help to sort of revisit it either therapeutically or by confiding in family or friends or something like that?
I thought about getting therapy for it. I think I still might, especially like I just not just, but like I ended a really long-term relationship. So it's kind of got me thinking about like how I approach relationships and how it's affected it. So I think like before I would get into like a serious relationship again, I would like to kind of like at least explore that
Yeah.
in some way. But I'm aside from this call, like if you ask me, I do have an overall happy life. I have a lot of people that love me. Like, I have a lot of great things that are happening in my life. That was one sad thing that I tried to learn from. So, I'm not going to say it's like irreparable, but it's definitely a part of you forever.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, look, yeah, I've obviously just very sorry that happened, but I have to say that like it's clear that you are processing and thinking about this in a really healthy way. I mean, at least to me, it seems, from the outside, just from a stranger's perspective, it seems, from the way you've talked about it and the way you've talked about sort of your feelings on it now seem reasonable, well reasoned, and coming from a good place. So, if that's any consolation, I like, it's nice to hear you thinking about it this way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think time and perspective helps a lot. My last relationship, even though we're not together, was good in a lot of ways. It was cool to be like loved by somebody as well as I was. So, and like like I said, I had a lot of really good people around me, so that helps. Immediately after I was not healthy, I basically responded by banging pretty much every guy I could find.
Really?
In like 20-mile radius of my campus. So that was definitely not healthy at all. But yeah, then I had like a long-term 7-year relationship, and that was great. So.
Well, I'm glad you're loved. I'm glad you're surrounded by people who love you. At the end of the day, that's it,
It is, and I have your videos to look forward to. That helps a lot. So.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm really glad I can bring a little light into your life, and yeah, I'm not stopping. So stay tuned. I'm still making stupid ass music.
Sounds good. All right. Well, next time I call in, I promise it'll be like a much happier.
Oh,
topic.
dude, no, are you kidding?
I'll have some good news.
No, I'm happy to talk about this stuff. It's the reason I chose it as the topic. I want, this is like some of this is the meat of life, and it's like being in these sorts of lows. Obviously, I can't relate to what you went through, but lows of my own, they give balance to the highs. So like without these tragedies, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the beauty as much,
Yeah, that's true.
It's a part of it. It's all, the bad and the good is just part of the experience of being on this earth. So, yeah, never apologize for talking about it.
All right. Well, this was a little cathartic, so thanks.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for talking about it. Hopefully, people who are listening can take something away from it. And yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you. Feel free to call back anytime.
All right. Thanks, Marc.
You got it. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to go back in the timeline here. And let's see. I'm trying to hit different area codes so that I can get a nice wide swath of listeners. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being here.
Hello?
Hello, and you are on the air.
Mark, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Chilling, watching your live stream.
Hey, how are you enjoying it so far?
I'm digging it, man. It's different.
Yeah, I did these for a while, like maybe about a year ago, and I stopped after I started, doing more of the music stuff. But I always really enjoyed talking to the, just talking to y'all, so I figured I'd bust it out again, see what's going on.
Yeah, dig it, man.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing? What's your day been like? You had a good day?
It was all right. Just got home from work not too long ago.
What do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking?
I work at a plumbing showroom.
Oh, plumbing showroom.
Yeah, we sell fancy shit to rich people.
but exclusively plumbing hardware?
Pretty much. We do door hardware and cabinet hardware as well, but our bread and butter is plumbing.
Oh, okay. Do you enjoy the work?
Some days.
Yeah.
We have to deal with a lot of rich assholes, so there's that.
Do you find that there's a fairly high percentage of assholes in that demographic?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
Assholes in what way? Entitled, pretentious? What are we talking about?
Yeah, both of those for sure.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well.
But you know, we get to do some cool shit. I mean, people build awesome mansions and what have you, so we get to see some cool stuff from time to time.
Yeah, that's nice to be cool. Nice to be cool. I was saying it's nice to be part of like big, beautiful construction projects like that. I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. What do you feel like confessing on this Tuesday evening?
To be honest, I didn't think you would call me, but now I'm kind of on the spot.
You sure are. Now remember, entirely anonymous. You know, don't say anything you don't want to say. But yeah, I'm sure me and the listeners would appreciate, whatever you want to let out.
I have to say that confession that I've never really told anybody, to be honest, is that I'm addicted to porn.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, when you say addicted, enlighten me as to your habits. Where are you at now with this addiction?
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't really have a baseline for, I guess, what's normal, just because I feel uncomfortable talking about it with most people. But I mean, it's a daily thing, sometimes multiple times daily.
Do you feel like
so I don't know.
Do you feel like it's getting in the way of anything?
Not particularly, only in the sense that it kind of just feels like a chore at this point.
Oh, really?
If you know what I mean, I don't know. It just kind of seems like, because, like I used to smoke cigarettes and stuff, and that got to the point of addiction where it's like, I feel like I'm doing this, but I don't really want to, and I just feel like I need to just to get it done and over with, if that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. I am currently struggling with that. I've been a smoker for 10 plus years, and I quit for about a year, and just recently started smoking again, and I'm in the middle of, another quitting attempt.
Oh, good on you, man. I quit for about 6 months, and you always seem to find your way back to it.
God, I know. It's like some situation or circumstance that just throws you back in.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, tell me about the porn thing. Do you have you found yourself, because you're doing it as often as you are, have you found yourself looking for different kinds of porn to satisfy your addiction, or are you looking at this sort of same things?
It definitely got to a point where it was just too, I don't know, like that South Park episode where it's like you gotta seek out some like weird shit to like get the job done.
Yeah.
but but after that, I kind of realized it, especially comparing it to like the South Park episode, and I was like, all right, I should probably stop looking at weird shit.
Yeah, because that's. I feel like when you introduce your penis to weird shit, like it's very difficult to go back at a certain point.
Definitely.
I would imagine.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have any thoughts on how you want to cut back or cut down, or do you feel that pressure, or where do you see this going?
It's kind of one of those things where I know like I need to cut back on it or try and stop it cold turkey. But again, to bring back the smoking, it's like you just, tomorrow. I'll start on that tomorrow,
Yeah.
So willpower, I suppose, is what's lacking there.
Yeah, that really is it. There's no one that can do it but you. That applies every bit as much to porn as it does to smoking, I'm sure.
Definitely. It's really easy to kind of reason with yourself on, why to go back to it if you do quit for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of make it easy for yourself to go back.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I've spent all this time away from it, so, like, I
deserve a little bit.
I kind of deserve this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I just cannot tell. It's exactly the conversation I have with myself every time I have a cigarette. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I've been putting in work. I have a lot of other areas in my life I'm happy with. So come on, how bad is this really? And then I'm like,
right.
like a month
just
later,
one
I'm like,
hurt.
why the fuck am I doing this?
Right. Yeah. Totally, dude. I feel you there.
Well, dude, I really wish you the best of luck with this. I have no advice to give you because I am in very much the same situation. So it would be very hypocritical of me to offer you any sort of advice. Just let's both try and cut this shit, I guess, right?
Agreed.
Let's give it our best shot. Whenever it is we decide the time is right, I hope you get there, dude.
Thanks, man. You as well.
Thank you. It's a pleasure talking to you, dude. You're welcome to call back anytime.
Yeah, definitely I will. Thanks for making kick-ass music, dude. I fucking love your videos, man.
Oh, well, thanks, dude. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Keep listening. Definitely going to have at least a couple new things by the end of the week, so it'd be something to entertain you over the weekend.
Badass. Well, my notifications are on, so I'll be there right when they pop up.
Awesome. Hell yes. I appreciate that, dude.
Definitely. I appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. Well, hang in there. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you some other time.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right, you too, dude.
Bye.
I'm going to use the restroom because my little bladder is going, excuse me, I'd like to urinate, please. And I'm going, can you just hold on a second? But then my bladder's going, dude, I'm like one of those plastic bags filled with urine. I'm like a bladder that's full, and you've got to let me out. And so that's what I'm going to do. I will be right back. we're back. Thank you for hanging in there while I took a little TT. I'm a little boy and I need to take a TT. Let's make a call here.
You have reached the voicemail.
I don't want to give away who I was calling, but it seems that they are no longer available. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. I'm going to try a different area code here. Let's see what we've got.
Hello?
Well, hello.
Oh my God, seriously?
You made it, baby.
I can't believe it. I was just watching your stream and I'm like, yeah, there's no way. By the way, you've got the exact same chair that I have. I just gave it away. I'm moving out
Really?
in a couple of days, and yeah.
This plush little
I just gave it
recliner?
up for- Yeah, it's a comfy couch. It's a comfy recliner.
It's a comfy chair. It's a very ugly piece of furniture, but it's comfortable.
Oh, it's hideous. I tried to give it away for free. No one would take it.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
Yeah. No.
I have it because I don't have the money to afford shiny new furniture, you know?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I picked it up for on the low.
Yeah. Well, how are you, dude? How's your night been going?
It's good. I just want to say, I saw you. I saw this video of you, like standing in line for like an iPhone or some shit like that. Wait, am I allowed to swear? Or is it swearing?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. Excellent. We're not on cable. Yeah, I saw you standing in line to like get an iPhone, and then some like lady like paid for your spot, and then she didn't realize that she can only buy one, and then I was like, oh my God, that's you at a very young age.
Yes, yeah, that's where it all started.
Oh God.
That was a lot of fun.
Geez.
It pretty much happened exactly like that, and she basically just paid for my iPhone, which was great.
Hey man. Yeah, her loss is your game. But yeah, no, my night's been pretty good. Just been busy with moving out. I'm actually just finished up my undergraduate degree, and So now I have a piece of paper that's totally useless.
Congratulations! What is it? What did you major in?
I got a double major in international development and poli-sci.
Oh man, that's some heavy shit.
Yeah. yeah, a little bit. I don't really have a great outlook on life right now, but
really, well, what do you want to do with those degrees? What are you looking to do?
Well, right now I'm gonna go into teaching. Right now I'm just gonna go get my teaching certificate and be a high school teacher, and then hopefully pursue my master's, and then maybe get a PhD, and then maybe I can be a professor, and I can be that professor that puts like memes in the slideshow and tries to pretend like he's really hip and with it.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
yeah. And tenure, so you never have to worry about a career again, and you're good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tenure. That's the dream.
Yeah. Well, listen, dude. You know, we're doing this. We're doing this little confession thing. You have something you want to bring to the table?
Confessions. Oh shit. Okay. All right. I mean, you have my real number, so I mean, you can trace me and then blackmail me. And you seem like the kind of guy that likes to blackmail and get some of my $5 or $10 I have in my checking account.
Oh yeah, I love to spend all night, just Googling random people's numbers and yeah.
Let's see. Secrets. Okay,
Yes.
all right. So something that a lot of my friends know about me, but my family does not know, and I don't plan to ever tell them, is that I used to be a drug dealer when
really?
I was. Yeah, I used to. It was nothing like serious, but I used to like sell like a lot of weed and sell a lot of hash when I was growing up. I was going through an interesting time at that point in life. My childhood is very similar to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I am basically the brown Will Smith. Also, and surprisingly, I adopted the black stereotype of being a drug dealer, and while he didn't in that show. So, I'm just breaking barriers, man. What can I tell you?
Just fucking leading the charge. Yeah.
Dude, I got you.
Did
I've
you?
got to. Yeah,
so,
but no, used to sell a lot of drugs. Most of the times.
Well, now, what do you think? I mean, I understand why you wouldn't want to tell your family, but how do you think they would react if you did?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm from a Middle Eastern family, so it's they've got certain views on things, especially in terms of career choice. Can't imagine the obstacles and hurdles I have to get over to tell them that I wanted to be a high school teacher, because it's engineer, doctor, or lawyer, or it's nothing. So if I did tell them, how would they react? I think a lot of disappointment. Like, that's like just number one, a lot of disappointment. And that's not the kind of thing, I don't know about you, but like probably most people are in the same boat. It's just kind of like hard to accept that disappointment, especially when it's people that you really care about. It's just, it's very heavy, and you can just, it's very, it's almost tangible in a way that you can just like actually like touch it. It's like, it's just really depressing, really brings you down, and I don't like to disappoint them. And in terms of afterwards, I don't think they would disown me. Maybe when I was younger, but now that I'm older and I'm not a screw up anymore, they'd just be like, okay, well, you're a fucking idiot. Thanks for like dealing drugs outside of our house. Like, oh yeah, no problem.
Well, I'm interested in this. You said that convincing them that, or at least like getting them to be okay with your career choice has been difficult.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the cultural thing, and I think it's shared among like Middle Eastern people, like Chinese people. It's just like something that they have these kind of like almost old world ideals in terms of like an idea of like what success is, and generally when you do delve into these cultures, you soon realize that title is like a really, really important thing. And it always will be. And so it's like, it doesn't even really matter that, let's say if you're a lawyer, I'm from Canada. If you're a lawyer in Canada, like the market is super oversaturated right now. So you would get a job, but you wouldn't be making that much money. And you'd be working really long hours. So it's like, my family probably would be happier with me being a lawyer, working a lot harder, making less money, as opposed to being a teacher where I make, in Canada, high school teachers make a really, really like good amount of money, great benefits. Everything is just great for that job. So
is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we make like $100,000 plus a year. Plus you get your summers and all the breaks off, and you get benefits, and it's unionized too. So
Jesus, that's
yeah, man,
amazing.
It's a good gig,
I don't know why there hasn't been.
It doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, I have to go up to Canada and get my teaching certificate, because what I'm saying is I wonder why there hasn't been a fucking mass exodus from the United States to Canada, because we really are struggling with that part of the job sector here.
Oh man, it's really rough for people in the U.S. and it's generally just in the U.S. like. Well, not just in the U.S., but like, for example, in parts of Europe, like it's actually like quite
an admirable and like job. Like it's something that like it has a title and like a sense of prestige with it that comes with like, you know, being a lawyer, being a doctor or something along those lines.
Right.
I don't know why that's not the case in the U.S., but I know it has something to do with like states have different amounts of funding for each school, and like it varies. So, you know.
Yeah, and there's not nearly enough allocated to teacher salaries. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
But you know, what's interesting is though, despite that, despite the financial side of it, I get the sense, just having lived in the U.S. my whole life, that there is very much a sense of, at least for most people, I feel like there's a sense of prestige and of nobility associated with, you know, the teaching profession. So like we think very highly of teachers, but we don't pay them commensurate to that, you know?
Right. I mean, it's unfortunate that's the case. I think that, you know, education, and that's actually something that I'm really interested in because, you know, like quick background, family came from Afghanistan and they immigrated to Canada, and I live with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt actually went from Afghanistan to former Yugoslavia to study medicine, and then she became a doctor there, came to Canada, and she became a doctor here. And so I've always been kind of obsessed with the idea of education, and specifically education for women. I just feel like they don't really have much of a chance in the developing parts of the world. And so it's always been my dream to kind of like, you know, become a high school teacher, continue getting my education and taking advantage of, you know, the privilege that I've been given, and also kind of like push that outwards and try to help other people, and specifically young girls that don't really have a chance to get educated. And I think, I don't know, man, I think education, if anything, you know, with flat earthers being a really big thing these days, I don't know, man, I think education is going down the tube. I mean,
yeah, we could certainly use it. Yeah. Dude,
so what the fuck happened there? That was I'm blaming you. I'm putting this all on you. How did you let Trump get elected, man?
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry, dude. I was in the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude. You and your pea-sized bladder, dude.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. No, but I have to say that I am. That's really awesome and a really excellent reason to get into teaching, and I feel like, yeah, dude, that's great. Like, you realize the beauty of what you've been given, and you want to pay that forward to the people who need it most. That makes me really happy.
Hey man, that's what life is about. I mean, I could be a selfish dick, but you know, so fuck it. Let's just go out and help other people if I can. By the way, I just gotta say, your music, man. I gotta say, it's goofy, it's creative, and you got a lot of talent in those fingertips, man. I gotta say, I don't say that lightly. I'm a big fan. I'm a really, really big fan of music, and I actually remember when you were talking about your setup, you had mentioned that the piano that you used was one of like Bill Evans' pianos that he used. And my dude, like Bill Evans is, I mean, that's my guy. And you got me hooked. The minute you said Bill Evans, I'm like, okay, this guy knows. This guy fucks.
Yes, I fuck pianos. Yeah. No, he's one of the all-time greats. One of the all-time greats. It's true.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch him. I don't know if you've ever seen some of his like live performances on YouTube, but
yes.
I remember I was watching him like perform Nardis, which was off a Cannibal Adderley date or something. I forget what the specific artist was, but I remember looking at his wrists, and there was two different time periods when he played the same song. And earlier on, normal. Later on, you look at his wrists really swollen, and that was because of I think it was a liver or kidney failure that he was going through because of his heroin addiction. And it was just, it was just really interesting to see that kind of thing. But yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. Just so gifted. So incredibly gifted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, man, I got to thank you for calling, and also just really admire the career path you're going down. I think that's awesome. And I wish I could be, I don't know. I wish I could be that selfless, but I'm like a selfish asshole, and you know.
I wouldn't say that you're selfish. I mean, you make music, and that's an escape for people. And I know for me personally, that's always been an escape of mine. It's always made me, it's always brought me a sense of comfort and happiness. And I mean, if you have the ability to evoke those kind of emotions to the work that you do, I mean, good on you. I think that's probably one of the most selfless things that you can do. So don't shit on yourself, man. Save that for the bathroom breaks.
Well, if they, yeah, I love shitting on myself. It's great. Rub it around. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, yeah, if that's a side effect of what I'm doing, then I'm happy. That's good.
I'm glad, man.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure, dude. I wish you all the best of luck. And now that you're out of college, you go and get them and show those little growing ladies what it means to love to learn and to love to become a productive, productive member of this society.
Okay, just because you told me I'm going to do it. Before
Awesome.
I was just going to say fuck it, but thank you. Okay. All right, man. Thanks a lot for calling me, man.
You
Good
got
luck with
it.
the rest of the stream.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye. I like that guy. You know, it's just at the end of the day, I think regardless of what it is you're doing, you got to just try and put some good out to whoever you're around, if it's your friends, your parents, your lover, your pet, your schoolmates, whatever it is, just be a source of good first to yourself. But if you can be that for yourself, you got to put it out there to the people around you, because that's like, it's the shockwave thing, where just being good will it reverberates. All right, give me just a moment here. I'm taking a look. Okay. I'm going to call someone who I haven't spoken with in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a friend from my early childhood. And then I will get to other people, but I would really love to talk to this person. Let's see. Maybe he has something he needs to say. Something he needs to get off his chest.
Hello?
My brother.
You called me.
I sure did. You're on the air.
How you doing, Mark?
Dude, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a trip. I believe it or not, I think probably your mom sent my mom a link to watch your YouTube or something, and I started watching, and I was like, holy shit, Mark has found his calling in life.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear you say that, dude.
No, I mean, I'm like tearing up watching you. Like it's the same stuff I remember, from when you were a wee young lad,
a tiny little shit,
a tiny little poop,
just a teeny
upon
little
the back
poopy.
seat.
Dude, I think it's been probably it gotta be close to a decade since we've seen each other.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure this. I was trying to remember if my wife had ever met you, and I think that you did at some point.
Yes.
Meet her.
That is when we last saw each other. I think
But I can't. When was that? Was that at home or?
Yes, I believe
home?
I came through and hung out with you and your mom and dad, and I think Sean was there too. When I had just moved to New York. I think I came over and chilled with you guys in the condo and had dinner, and I think I met your. I don't know if she was your wife yet.
No, probably not.
Yeah, but I think I met her and I saw you. I guess that would have been the last time I saw you. So that was so it wasn't so long ago. Probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, maybe about that. So we weren't married at that point. But yeah, things have changed a little bit. I read whatever expose was done on you for the music stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Saw you got either laid off or fired from the normal corporate job.
Yes.
And turned to music, and I have to say, like, the subtle piano stuff, once you lay down just some like laid back beats, like that stuff really is just so awesome.
Oh, thanks, dude.
I've turned you on a couple of times at work, and it just, like, listening in the background, it makes my day just so much better.
Oh,
and
dude,
then you
that's
break
awesome.
into like Blackbeard's here, and that shit just fucking start dying laughing in the middle of work with noise canceling headphones and people staring at me.
Dude, what are you doing for work these days? Tell me what you're up to.
So I work in the solar tech field.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I get to be a solar nerd, if you will. And,
what in particular
awesome.
in the solar industry are you working on? Are you doing like engineering?
So when I moved to like the solar field, I did basically like tech support. And then from tech support, moved on to like more heavy engineering.
Huh.
And then from engineering, now I'm on like product manager side. So like helping, decide what new features we're bringing and how to make things better for people. So.
Yo, that's great. And you're in a cutting edge technological field here.
Yeah, sort of. I like to say that, I can sleep well at night knowing that I'm trying the best to do good by the environment and not sort of plunder it. But
yeah, definitely, definitely. So how long have you been married now?
So it'll be 4 years soon.
Hey.
Probably gotta look that up.
That's great.
Which brings me to the confession.
Oh, baby, let's hear it. I'm ready.
We're gonna be having a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey. Yo, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
When did you learn about this?
Thank you. So, I don't know, probably about 10 weeks ago, and I've been scared shitless ever since.
Oh, man. Okay, tell me about how you're feeling about the whole thing. Are you petrified?
Yeah, so, petrified is a good word. Now I have probably 20, 25 weeks remaining to just sit and worry about something I have no control over, which is something unique.
Yeah.
So that's scary, you know. You go in and you have your fingers crossed for every doctor's appointment and blood test and everything like that. But yeah, overall, really excited and petrified that I'm gonna, you know, screw it up. So
Well, I'm sure that's how every upcoming father feels, and you know, 9 times out of 10, things go off without a hitch, and I think you're gonna do just great. Do you feel like you have a good partner in your wife? Are you two cooperating well on this thing? Are you seeing eye to eye on the whole process?
yeah, so I think that's the calming aspect. So I've known my wife since freshman year of college. I'm going to be 32. So known her since freshman year, started dating sophomore year, and then
Wow.
long time dating, long engagement, and now some marriage. So I've definitely married my my best friend and my equal. So I don't think there will be that friction there, which is a relief that, you know, some people may not have. So definitely fortunate.
Yes, for sure. That's a beautiful thing. Definitely something to be grateful for.
Yeah. So tell me what's new in the world of Marc. I mean,
well,
I see the YouTube star. I see the subscriptions, you know, continuously increasing every time I check in, and
yeah, dude. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I've gotten, you know, I could take this opportunity to let my audience here, whoever's listening, know what's happening in my life. But yeah, I'm in Dallas. You know, I had you know, I've had many jobs that I cared nothing about. November or October of last year, I lost one of those jobs. They canned, you know, my entire department, just axed 7 of us in one fell swoop. Gave us a disproportionately generous severance that gave me time to sort of go, okay, what the hell am I actually doing here? And so I decided to just give the music thing a shot. I'd been making these videos for a little bit, had, you know, a small audience, and yeah, I just decided to try and start performing, see if anyone would actually book me or like let me perform. And as soon as I booked like my first 2 gigs, I've never really had to look for another one since. I just keep getting booked, and yeah, it's my job, and it's kind of surreal and incredible that I'm doing this for a living, but I'm doing it for a living. And yeah, outside of that, you know, my dad is not doing great, and I visit him every day, and you know, try to spend time with my mom, and yeah, that's really basically the bulk of my life right now.
well, that's really good on the job front, career front, and I'm sorry to hear about, you know, your dad.
Well, thanks.
I have to like stop myself from using names.
Oh,
It's,
right.
it's a little awkward here, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm really, you know, it saddens me that that happened with your dad, and he is you know, a really hilarious guy, and I see so much of him in you, and actually this particular live stream, I see so much of your mom with her profession too, which is really great. It's I think you had talked about this before with one of the other callers of, you know, your parents and they're just human beings and everything else, and genetics. But I will step off the soapbox and let someone else step up.
Oh
but
man,
it's been great talking to you, man, and keep doing it. Like, keep doing the gentle piano, you know, some laid back tunes here and there. Like, that stuff really, really makes me light up. So,
oh, well, that's awesome. Yes, that's some of my favorite stuff to do. I worried that that not as many people are into that because it's not, you know, it's not like the attention grabbing stuff, but those little pieces have gotten wonderful feedback. So I love doing them. I'll definitely continue to do them. And yeah, dude, it's just really awesome to talk to you. We should definitely try and catch up, like, not on a live stream. Yeah, it would be great.
Well, I definitely look forward to that, and I think that those pieces of the music, while not attention grabbing, are the pieces that really show off your talent. So keep doing it,
man. Thank you, and just lots of love to you and your wife and the baby. That's like super, super exciting. I can't wait to see pictures, and you guys have to tell your mom and dad to tell me about it and let us know what's going on. I still get emails from your dad regularly. He sends me his music stuff, and I love listening to it. And yeah, man, just, you know, you and your family were a huge, very important part of my childhood, and I think about you guys a lot. And so just sending a lot of love to you all.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Yeah, dude.
We'll talk soon, all right?
Yes,
Best
definitely.
of luck.
Thanks. You too, dude. You too. Bye. Oh, what a lovely person to talk to. I'm so happy he's doing well. Okay, let's see what we have. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what happens here. If I can make this call. Okay. Ring, ring. Will it ring? I don't know. I don't know. I'd be happy to add some credits to my account if that means I can call internationally. Yeah, I'll add this credit. Let's see. Give me just a second while I add some credit to see if I can call internationally. Let's see what happens with that. Okay. So now it looks as though I do have a balance. Oh yeah, I got a hot little balance. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see if I can give this person a call back. Let's see. Ooh.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
Oh my God.
What
a man.
You
What a
are
man.
on the air, baby.
I can't believe it.
From the land
Blowing
down
my mind
under.
right now. That's me.
Hey, how are you, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm like, I tell everyone that I'm fine, but oh man, on the inside I am freaking the fuck out.
What's going on? Tell me what's happening. What's happening?
Well, right now, my beautiful bride to be is out getting her nails all pretty for our wedding in a few days.
Ooh, how exciting!
She's left me in control of the house. She said, "Clean it before I get back."
And have you done that?
No, I have not.
Man, so tell me what's going on in your mind right now. What's happening?
I'm a little bit like, I feel like there's nothing in my brain because there's just so much going on in the house. We have these beautiful boxes all laid out because all the table decorations for each table are going in individually numbered boxes.
Yeah.
And it's just frantic. Crazy.
Wow. God damn.
I can't believe I'm talking to you. What
you
the hell?
You sure are. Yes. So what time is it over there right now in Australia?
It is just after 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock in the afternoon?
How about you? Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the future. I am. It's Tuesday evening at 10 p.m.
Oh man, no, you're speaking to the future because it's Wednesday afternoon.
Wow, I am quite literally talking to the future. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, listen, man. Do you have? I don't know if you know our topic this evening, but it's confession time.
I've been trying to think about what would be good to confess, and I'm a pretty square guy. I don't think I've done anything crazy before, so I don't have anything too juicy for you. But man, if I could just confess my love to the woman of my life on your show and across the globe, that would just make my day.
Oh, shout it out, baby. Shout it from the rooftops.
Oh, so Emma, if you ever listen to this, I might have to show you after the live stream finishes, but God, I'm so excited to be a husband for the rest of my life. It's just going to be literally a dream come true.
Oh, man, that's just so sweet. That's so sweet. I hope she watches this, and she better know that she's lucky to have you. She's lucky to have you.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's
and the world's lucky to have you. Holy shit. Been watching for what? I've been watching for a couple of months now, and man, I get so excited every time I see an upload.
Oh, well, thank you, dude. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. I've been getting my friends onto you. They've all been listening to the album over the last few weeks. They said, exactly like you said, it's so good to be able to just have it on your phone and just cruise around the streets, blaring it out of the car.
Oh, well, great. That's awesome. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling people about the channel. But right now, what I want you to do is get the hell off the phone and clean the house.
I'm doing the dishes as I speak to you right now, man. It's
Perfect.
done.
Okay, good.
Working hard. You have a good day.
All right, man. You too, and congratulations. I hope the wedding goes beautifully.
I'm sure I will. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Peace out.
Bye. Hey, congratulations to the gentleman. The gentleman getting married. That's great. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm going to make a few more calls, and then, I've got to not be in front of a camera.
Oh, God.
Yes.
This is Marc, isn't it?
You bet your ass it is.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
Tell me why.
You ever have that feeling like where you have that feeling in your chest where there's something you feel you had to say, but like it's like you're calm as heck, but your heart is just like going super fast, right?
Yes, I know that feeling very, very well.
I've been having that for the past hour and a half.
Really?
Oh yeah, the thing that I've been wanting to talk about is, I mean, it may not seem like much to the chat or anything or whatnot, so I've kind of closed it because I don't want to see what people say about me. But it's been really taking its toll on me this past hour because I've been like, I'm hoping you've called, but also hoping you weren't going to call, you know?
Yeah, hoping that you would get a chance to let it out, but then also hoping that the whole thing would just pass so you could just get on with your life.
Yeah.
Well, that's not happening. Here we are. I think it's a very good idea to have closed the chat. I support that decision. And so now you can know that it's just you and me. Here we are. You're just on the phone with a dude. None of your information is being disseminated. It's you and me, baby. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. It's just, for the past, I've been here since the beginning of the stream, and, I've been hearing all these other stories, and I'm just like, oh, God, it's just making me feel worse about mine, but I need to, get it out.
You got to get it out.
Okay. About 11-ish, months ago, I was in a relationship with a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been, living with her. I told her I loved her. I dated her for about 2 years and 4 months. And come about that 2 years and 4 months mark, I realized something about myself. Instead of finding her qualities endearing and whatnot, I realized that I started to become annoyed with her and started to, hate aspects of her that I had once cared about so much,
Mm.
And, instead of just, coming out right and telling her, which is what I should have done in retrospect, I led her on for another 10 months with her believing that she was doing something wrong and whatnot. And eventually it just came to a head, and I would just turn away all of her attempts to try to talk to me about, what was going on or whatnot, and just say, everything's fine. And eventually it just came to a point where I just snapped and said that I didn't want to be with her anymore and I didn't love her anymore. And after that, as we split, it was very messy. And now for the past year or so, I've just been kind of trying to move past that. But there's also that part of me that won't let me because, this has been sticking with me for quite a while.
Oh, boy. Well, let me ask you what part of it has been sticking with you? I mean, I know it's a long relationship. When you end it, I actually went through a fairly similar situation. I fell out of love with someone who I was with for a long time, about 2 years, about the same amount of time, but I was not able to say it, or every time I tried, I didn't say it strongly enough, and so I receded back into this, and just gradually you hate everything about the relationship more and more and more until you just until you literally can't anymore, and then it just and then it blows up. Yeah
it just explodes, making the situation that probably could have been resolved easily much worse.
Right
But if you just
tell me why it's been why it's been sticking with you. Is there anything specific that has been sticking with you? Any thought, any lingering sort of thing?
The fact that I could have just handled it better, that I could have, just made it much easier on her, made it, a lot easier for both of us instead of just snapping at her. And I heard, that she's not taking it well about 2 months ago from, someone I used to be friends with. I lost a few friends in the course of the last few months, and it's just been taking its toll on me mentally. I recently started biting my nails. I never knew that I would have this issue. And it's just been it's been a rough year.
Well, have you made? I mean, have you made an attempt to? I mean, I'm sure you expressed this when you ended it initially, but have you made any attempts to reach out to her since to say, "Listen, I just, I'm sorry for the way I handled everything. This, that. Try and put some closure on it."
I mean, I've thought about it, but I've never actually gone through with it.
Do you think she would be open to speaking with you?
I don't know. I mean, I could probably ask a few people that know her still and whatnot that I don't really talk to. But the issue is that they don't really have a high opinion of me now, and they probably don't want to give me the time of day and whatnot. So it's just been difficult.
That's a tough situation, man. Well, let me ask you. You said that someone told you that she wasn't taking it well. Did they give you any information beyond just saying that?
Well, they've told me that she's been drinking a lot, which is not something that she would do when we were together. And she's just been, kind of just receding into herself, just not really talking to people as actively. So her friends have to make an attempt to talk to her and whatnot. It's just.
Man, that's rough. Well, I mean, gosh, the only thing I can tell you because, I really was kind of in this situation a little while back. I mean, you are two completely different people from me and my ex, but, the circumstance was very similar. And I can tell you now very happily that, I mean, I felt horrible for how long I let it go on and then for, ending it the way I did. It really devastated her. And it was just really shitty to have to do that to a person, and knowing that I could have handled it differently, just like you said, is just a really hard thing to deal with. But that being said, that was, I want to say over 3 years ago, and she met someone really great who seems to love her a lot, and just last week they got married, and it seems like a really healthy thing. And, she went through a long period of sort of turmoil where she was trying to get things figured out and sleeping with people and trying to figure out her own shit and her career and her head. And, we went back and forth for a little bit. The whole thing was just really confusing and shitty. But the point I'm making is that she eventually found her way to a much better place, and, ending it at the end of the day was the right thing to do. No matter how it happened, the fact that it ended was right. And, this life thing just has a way of figuring itself out, And if she is a lovely person, which I'm sure she is, she will figure it out too. I mean, do you trust in her ability to do that?
I mean, she's been through a lot in her life, so yeah, I believe that she's a strong person.
Yeah. Well, that's the best thing I can say to you, dude, is just relate to you what has just transpired with this relationship that fell apart, quite a while back for me. But, in the end, things have turned out pretty well for her.
So, in retrospect, do you, from your situation, do you wish that you would, apologize to her for what happened? Did you apologize to her?
I did. I absolutely did, and it made me feel, selfishly made me feel much better. But I think by approaching her from a place of love and honesty, I think that she really, even though there were a couple times where I tried to apologize to her and she didn't want to hear it because it was too soon after the fact, eventually, I think she really did come to appreciate it. And we have, not a super communicative relationship, but a healthy one. It's amicable, and we respect and love each other for what we had. And yes, I mean, the answer to your question is yes. It made me feel really good to suck it up and look at her and tell her that I'm sorry for the way that I handled things. And I think that you might find that same comfort, if you can manage to muster up the strength.
Yeah, maybe. I'll definitely take your advice to heart, man, and thanks for talking to me. Like, I'm actually kind of glad that this call happened now.
Well, dude, I'm so glad that you were able to come out with this and talk about what was on your mind. I just wish you the best through this whole thing. I hope that your friends remain your friends, and I hope that with the passage of time will come some sort of reconciliation here. But yeah, I urge you to be as honest as possible with her. If anything, she deserves that from you, right?
Yeah, she does. She did, like, at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I can take that advice to heart and actually, do something with it, go through with it, and maybe try to just learn from this experience.
I hope so, man. I know it's a tough one. I know it's hard.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your time. Thanks for calling, man, and thanks for all that you do, man. Like, seriously, like.
Yo, it's my pleasure. I'm happy I could provide you with some perspective on this. There's not a lot of people that call that I can actually relate to in terms of the situation, but yours I really could, so I felt the need to tell you my side of it. And I hope it helps in some small way, and even if it doesn't, I'm glad you called. And, if I have another one of these streams in the future, feel free to call in and let me know how things are going.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Well, thanks, and I hope you have a good whatever time zone you're in.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one of those. Take it easy. It's just life. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you, man.
All right, brother. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. I think... all right. Well, I think I'll do one more. One more call. Let's see. I'll have one more call. I'm very sorry to the people who messaged me who I haven't been able to get to. I know you all have things to say, and I wanted nothing more than to get y'all. But let's see. Okay. All right. Let me make a call and see what this last caller has to say.
Hello?
Hello. You are on the air.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's Marc.
That's right. You made it.
Oh, wow. Am I the last caller? I just closed the stream because I was about to go down and have a smoke.
Oh, is that
I didn't
right?
expect you to call.
Yeah, man. You are likely to be our last caller.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. How's your night been?
It's been good. It was a eventful day. Worked in the morning. Went and watched a baseball game. Just got home not too long ago from that.
Oh, well, that's nice. How was the game? Did your team win?
No. It's,
Oh well, shit.
minor league game. Toledo Mud Hens was the team I was there for, and it was a close one, but they didn't win tonight.
They didn't clench it, huh?
And no.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, on this late little evening, what did you want to put out there?
All right. So, not real big confession. Just wanted to get it off my chest. This is actually the second time I've gotten the pleasure of talking to you. I got to talk to you on a stream a while back when you were making music. It feels like such a stupid thing to confess, but I actually lied to you. You had asked me what I did for a living, and I said I was a wildlife instructor, which I am not.
Really?
I was just too nervous that I was talking to you, and that was the first thing that popped into my head.
Okay, now.
So, I just wanted to let it be known that I am a cook, not a wildlife officer.
You're a cook?
Yes, a kitchen manager.
Now, I think I actually remember this because if I'm not mistaken, I asked you to give me some little factoid about wildlife, didn't I?
And I replied very nervously, "You put me on the spot, Mark."
Yes, you did.
That's because I don't know shit, Mark.
Oh, man. Well, doesn't it feel good to tell the truth?
Hey, it does, you know. It's always something everybody should work on.
Do you like your job?
I do, actually. I do like my job.
Oh, good.
Would eventually like to move on somewhere, you know. As far as cooking goes, you only can learn so much in a kitchen.
Yeah.
And I've been in this kitchen I'm in now for 7 years, so.
Oh, wow.
Getting to the point where maybe I should get out of boring Ohio. I wasn't lying about that. Ohio's still very boring.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it says a lot about your character and your loyalty that you've been with the same place for 7 years. That's going to be a great thing to have on your resume.
Oh, yeah, you know. It's hard work. It's all you can do.
Yeah, that's true. Keep working. Keep making that money.
That's what I'm saying. I make that money so you can make great music, and I can pay you for it.
Oh,
I
love
seeing
that.
you make more music, sir.
Well, you know I have no intention of stopping that, and so you better stay tuned because that's still happening, baby.
Awesome. I have a quick question if I can.
Please.
People ask you a lot about setting up a Patreon, and I saw you say, and I think it was AMA you did, that you didn't really feel like you wanted to set one up because you didn't want to feel like you had a deadline as far as music.
Yeah.
And that just kind of made me wonder if you don't really, do you see this YouTube, maybe not YouTube music, live music thing as a pursuable career for you? Like, do you see this as being a full-time thing ever, or do you think this is always going to be more of a side hobby?
Well, you know, the thing that is paying my rent is live performances right now. And so I see the YouTube thing as a way to explore different avenues of my creativity and try, you know, putting this thing into different formats. But at least as it is right now, it's hard for me to see it as a viable source of like primary income, but that may change. I don't know. I may just continue to make videos and my audience may continue to grow to the point where I can make a living off of it, but it's so far from that right now that I'm just basically using it to bolster my chances of real life success. So, you know, hoping that these videos can attract people in the real world who can make me money, you know, by putting me in front of audiences and et cetera. And so that has been going fairly well for me. But, you know, I have no problem seeing the YouTube thing expanding into a career. That'd be cool, or at least as supplemental income. But yeah, as it stands, you know, I would just rather be able to create stuff on here on my own time and like, you know, but sort of by my own watch rather than be held to like a strict schedule of uploads by people who are like paying me lots of money to do that, because
Right.
I'm already held to that schedule by those people in my real life playing in front of, you know, audiences, and it's very stressful. So I just would, yeah, I like the freedom of being able to just do what I please on here.
Right. Well, I would love to hear an actual a full album come from you. Maybe one day that isn't more of the jokey music. Don't get me wrong, I love your jokey music, but I said it in chat earlier. The lyrics are hilarious, but the music under it too, Mark, is so good. I would love to hear a good an album from you. Just some beats, Mark. Put out that fire mixtapes, man. We need it.
I would love to do the same thing, dude. As soon as I find the time and the inspiration, I'll crank it out. I definitely, that's on the horizon. It's something I'm thinking about. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
keep on the lookout
awesome
for
to
that.
hear, Mark.
Yeah. Well, dude, I really appreciate you calling in. Go out and have that smoke. Enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you for being honest. I appreciate that.
Of course. Maybe next time we talk, I'll be less nervous.
Yes, absolutely. Call back anytime, dude, or have me call you. I'm sure I'll have my phone thing set up by the next time I do this. So, yeah, man, feel free to call in anytime. It's a pleasure.
Always, Mark. It's great talking to you.
All right, brother. You too. I'll see you soon.
Hey, take it easy.
You too. Good night. All right, y'all. What a pleasure it's been being here with you, calling, shooting the shit. I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to call one more person because there were a lot of people who emailed me and messaged me wanting to reach out. But I don't know. What do you think? I mean, should I call one more person? Or should I? What do you think? I don't know. Oh, guys, I want to thank. Let me thank everybody. My chat window was off. Okay, I'll do one more. I'll call one more. I want to thank for the $20 tip, Shay. Oh, sorry to hear that, Shay, that I'm not going to be there. Yeah. But it's Friday that I'm not going to be there. I could come Saturday and say hello to you. Ryan, thank you, dude. Valhallen, Sklidude, Valhallen again, and Valhallen again. Thank you very much for those lovely tips. I will call one more person. So let's take a look and see what we've got. I'm going to try and choose a good one. Let's see here. Okay. Give me just a moment here to take a look through my little requests. Hop pom 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 bim pom pam bitu cha chi yon chi cha ran ta ki kaku kaka him papu pod kaka tukachin kokam bam pom 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 ha he. I said boom boom bum but ging ging runda dunda dunda gung gong kak king gung pom 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 ah hand gung Said, oh no, whoopsie daisy, oh no, 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 whoopsie daisy. Now I made a little hoopsie poopsie, oh, made a little bit of that whoopsie poopsie, made a little bit of hoopsie poopsie, I did a little bit of that bone. No, 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 no. I said no, 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 man, the bomb, bomb, button, but the good no, don't, down, 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 boom, boom, hop, 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 boom, boom, gang, ging, 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 gong, gong, gong. I'd like it to be a good last call, but I think I'm just gonna have to pull the trigger and try to give someone a call. There's someone who'd like to send me a message. Let's see. Okay. Oh, you know what? I've called this area code quite a bit before, so let's see here. All right. Let's give me an area code. I'm gonna give you some area codes and let's okay. Never mind. Let's go with this. I already called this person. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. I'm going to try someone. All right, let's try this out. Let's see what goes on with this person. Let's see. Hello, and you are on the air.
Hello?
You there?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, you caught me really off guard.
I apologize.
Wow, is the stream still ongoing?
It's you're the last caller of the night.
Oh my god. Shit. I have to be special.
You don't have to be anything. You don't have to be anything at all.
I have to have like a really juicy confession now.
How's your night been going?
It's been going all right. Well, except for the fact that I just realized I forgot one of my partner's birthday.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, like that's. I think it's like I feel really really bad because he makes birthdays are a really big deal to him,
Oh, really?
and I don't give a shit.
Oh, no.
And I don't care about my own birthday. I really don't care about my own birthday. But he's like, no, it's and the thing is like, so I'm in a polyamorous relationship. So me and my other partner, we don't care about birthdays,
Ah.
but he does.
Did
So
you
he's like,
express your...
now that he's like, oh man, like it's my birthday, and we were talking earlier, and he went to bed, and I was just making fun of him for something, and he just goes, okay, and I said, I'll just get over the fact that you don't. He didn't know who Vampire Weekend was.
Wait, you say say that again?
I'm sorry. I'm talking way too fast.
No, that's okay.
But I was making fun of him for something earlier. He didn't know who Vampire Weekend was.
Oh, I see.
So I said, I'll just get over the fact that you don't know who Vampire Weekend is. And he replied, I'll just get over the fact that you forgot it was my birthday today.
Oh, God. Oh, man. That's, yeah. He got you with that one.
Yeah, I walked straight into that one. But aside from that, it's been pretty all right. How about you? How's your night going?
It's been great. I've been talking with a lot of really lovely, wonderful people who are just, every time I do one of these call-in streams, it just gives me hope for the human race because there's a lot of good people out there,
Then you're certainly a lot more optimistic than I am.
Well, let's let that guide us to our topic for this evening. And
Yes.
I wonder if you have something to confess anonymously to the world.
Oh man, where do I start? Man, do I do like? Okay, this is anonymous. Nobody's gonna fucking care.
That's right.
So, and obviously, like I have demonstrated earlier in this conversation, I am an amazing romantic partner, completely like considerate of other people's well-being.
Yeah.
But, so for God, this kind of requires a little bit of a backstory. Long story. Well, I'll do the confession first, and then I'll get into the backstory a little bit.
Okay.
So, I might be the reason that my friend's relationship is breaking up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Hit us with that context.
Yeah, that was that backstory. Okay. So this kind of actually started 2 years ago. So, I met this guy this was when I was like 100% single at the time. So, just, having fun or whatever. So, like most great lust stories, it all started on Tinder.
Yes. All the timeless romances. Yeah.
So meet this guy on Tinder, and he's, we're talking. We've been talking for like 2 days, and it's really interesting and it's really fun. And I'm the kind of person wherein I don't like doing the whole exchange for like 2 whole fucking weeks. Like if I think you're interesting, I will ask you out.
Yes, I'm the same way. Let's just meet. Why are we going to waste all of this on Tinder? Let's fucking do this.
Exactly. And it's like, if you're going to be talking for more like 3 days, you don't really care.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been talking for 2 days, and I'm already like, I'm going to ask him out, like, whatever. He's not going to do anything. Then he just, like, hits me with the, when's your first date going to be? I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. So we go out, and it's really fun. We really click. But around the same time, obviously we just started seeing each other, so we were also kind of seeing other people. And I'm non-monogamous, so I was like, oh, whatever, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
But he starts seeing this other girl more seriously, simply because, like, they work together, so he sees her all the time.
Oh, I see.
Really, it's more like a thing of convenience. But we still hang out, but more as friends.
Mm.
Well, that relationship kind of falls apart, and we start seeing each other more romantically again.
Mm.
Then he starts, and this is going to be a bit of a pattern. Like, he starts seeing someone else, but at that point, it became really clear that we can't really do the whole just being friends thing. So my head was like, I'll just avoid him.
That's pretty reasonable, yeah.
Right, because like even though like my relationship at the time, we were like an open relationship, and my partner, they were okay with me seeing other people. I was okay with them seeing other people. From what I gathered, this new relationship that he was in was not.
Oh, I see.
And totally all about that ethical monogamy. If the other person's not into it, don't force them.
Right.
But then he just starts. But we still like, we know it. But then it was like, oh, but I still really missed like his friendship. And he's actually a really good friend. Then one day he's like, hey, I'm going to this thing. My girlfriend can come with me. Are you free? We haven't talked to each other in like months. I was like, yeah, totally. That's fine. Basically too much booze and two people who were probably still really into each other, and like not a great decision.
Yeah.
And I wake up in his apartment the next morning.
Oh.
Yeah. And but we keep this like, it was just always like this thing where we're like, oh, this is never going to happen. It becomes this pattern of like, we're never going to see each other. Like, this is not going to happen again. We're going to set up these ground rules, whatever. We're going to respect their relationship and whatever.
Yeah.
But then I find out from his coworkers, because he's a bartender, and I have like a lot of other friends who are also like in the industry, bartenders, and my current other partner is a chef, so he knows like a lot of people who work in the same places.
Mm.
Is that when I wasn't drunkenly sleeping with him, he was sleeping with other people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And when I find that out, I'm like, I get pissed, and I just like confront him. Like, not really because for myself, but it's like this is like you've been doing this with like other people.
Right.
Right. And it's like, and he's gonna like, well, like, you can't judge me. Like, what are you doing? Like, playing all high and mighty. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, you're a part of this. And like, oh, fuck that. So it's like, I'm never speaking to you ever again. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I don't talk to him for a year. That's why like this whole story like started 2 years ago. So for 1 entire year, I did not speak to him at all. Like, no, absolutely no contact.
Huh.
Then January 1 of this year, my birthday's December 31.
Oh, that's a good birthday.
Yeah. Right. But like the day after, like January 1st, I wake up to a text message from like this number that I don't really, that seems familiar, but I don't really remember.
Mm.
And he's like, hey, happy birthday. I'm really sorry. And I realized that I make like a lot of bad decisions. And I've gotten help. I would really like, it really sucks that I've lost your friendship. I'm gonna try again. So over the course of the past few months, we were trying to rebuild that friendship. It's not the same as it was before, but we were so slowly trying to rebuild it. Then over time, like it's just been last week, he and I had dinner, and he just came clean with the fact that he's been with this girl like for more, like he still stayed with this girl, like they're still together.
Yeah.
Like, and he came clean. He told her everything, and they still decided to stay together.
Wow.
But then he came clean with the like recently, ever since we started, hanging out again. He just realized that like he actually doesn't love her.
And does he love you?
That's that's the part that I really don't want to say. But he's pretty much like brought it up, and we're not very good at like being clear with our emotions. But he's pretty much like said as much with without actually saying like the words
Right.
I love you, because he'll know like I'll flip the fuck out.
Oh man.
Yeah. So he's like, and so he's leaving. He's going to Korea for like 2 weeks. Next week, and he's like telling me like I might break up with her then.
Like before he leaves.
I think before it's either he's either gonna do it before, he's gonna do it like right after.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and he knows that I'm currently like in a poly relationship now.
And
so,
what do your partners think about this? Do they know about
the
this?
other one that I forgot the birthday of doesn't really know him.
Okay.
Like they don't really know each other.
Yeah.
And the one who I kind of consider like my main partner, he's met him before, and he likes him as a person, I guess. But I of course like filled him in like a little bit on like the history.
Yeah.
And he's like a little like dicey about it, where it's just like, are you sure that he's just saying this because he knows that you have a history and there's still some tension there, or do you think like he actually means it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
But it makes sense, and I think like, and part of me, and I've like admitted this much before, like my other like my main partner knows this, and he knows this actually, is that I kind of consider him the one that got away a little bit.
Yeah.
But but then it's not really because of him, because he's not, it's more of like the person who I was when I still really wanted to be with him. Because back then, I think like I was a little more, didn't really give it, like I was in a very self-destructive period of my life. So, but that girl like didn't really give a shit, she didn't care as much. It was easier to let go, to just kind of come back, like fall down, but come back right up. But now I'm at like, I have a job now, I have more responsibilities, so, and, I care so much now because I have so much more to lose, and I don't really, I absolutely can have that devil may care attitude. I still could, but there's just so much more at stake.
Well, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Okay, here's the scenario. He goes to Korea. Before leaving, he breaks up with this girl. Okay, he gets back from Korea and he says, I love you. I want to be with you. What do you do?
Oh man, I would do exactly what I'm doing. I would just go, what? I really don't know, because I don't think I would want a serious relationship with how he is now. I value the friendship, and obviously, I've been with him on a not so serious, like, romantic way in the past.
Right.
Obviously, he is a couple major fuck ups in the the other person, keeping the other person to their fidelity.
Yeah.
Kind of wrong. But I take responsibility for that. It takes two to tango. Yeah, but also it's like I learned from that, and I don't want to keep doing it. Hence the when he was like, I break up with her, I was just like, and maybe because I still feel things for you. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. That's intense. And what I'll say is from what you have told me, from the story you've just told, it definitely seems as though where it concerns you and him, there's a lot of, like danger there.
It's very,
and a history of danger. And so maybe, like you say, a relationship with him, at least in the state he's in right now, is maybe not the best idea.
Right. And yeah, it's
but you should
totally,
be prepared to. You should be prepared
yeah.
to have to tell him that, because it sounds like from what you've said that he's like gunning for you a little bit.
It's a little. Yeah, it kind of does feel like he's gunning, and also like a bit like he's setting. There's two ways that I think about it. The more optimistic, cautiously optimistic side of me thinks of it like he's gunning for something. The more pessimistic and actually like really more realistic side of me kind of feels like he's also kind of setting a trap.
Oh.
Wherein he knows that we've had this history, and if he ends up, I don't know the intricacies of his relationship with his current girlfriend now. Ever since like I stopped talking to him, she stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
Because obviously when he told her everything, he obviously told her about me.
Right.
And so she and I used to talk, but now not anymore. So I don't know the intricacies of the relationship. I only know what it is from his side. So I don't know if what he's saying is absolutely true, or if he's just saying that so it like it's if I was interested in entering a romantic situation with him, it wouldn't feel as bad. Just like doing it for my sake, which I don't know.
Right.
That's why like part of the thing is like I'm very happy with who I'm with now. Both my partners, for all their faults and all their weaknesses, they are very good people, and we do care about each other, and it's this, we do, and it's this thing that's based on mutual respect and acknowledgement of each other's flaws, and saying like, hey, that's your flaws are okay, but that doesn't mean you can't grow from them.
Yeah. And
our relationship is built in that. Well, a lot of the times it's hard to discern, like with him, what is this built on,
Yeah.
If we were to pursue something, what is this built on?
Right. That's definitely something you need to ask yourself. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my confession.
Well, listen, I hope that things turn out okay. I'm interested to know what comes of it. So if I ever have another stream, you should definitely call in and let me know what happened.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll let you. I mean, I messaged you on my Instagram, so you also have my number if ever you're like, hey, whatever happened to that mess?
Yeah. Yeah, I will definitely check in because I'm interested to know.
We have a hot mess episode. We have a hot mess live stream.
And that would be the time to call.
I expect to be number one.
You got it. You've got it.
Because I have this is more confessions, but really, I have so many hot mess stories.
Yeah, well, I definitely need to do a hot mess episode then in that case.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've been here for 3 hours, so I'm gonna end the stream.
All right.
But thank you so much for sharing, and yeah, I hope the chips fall down in the right place and that life continues to be beautiful for you.
I'm honored to be the grand finale.
And a grand finale you were.
Thank you for feeding my ego, and it was very nice speaking to you.
Lovely speaking to you as well. I hope to speak to you again in the future.
Yeah, and I can't wait to look at the stream comments and see what all the trolls had to say about me.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right. Well, listen, take it easy. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you at some point in the future.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye. Okay, y'all. Well, it's been a real pleasure being here, talking, shooting the shit. Guys, I'm going to tuck you in. I'm going to tuck all of you in here. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down goes my baby, falling on the ground and breaking that neck. Yo, my baby broke its neck. Yo, dead baby time. You'll have to close the eyes. Bam. Yo, yeah, we're tucking in, bitch. Hey, yo, I'm talking about it's nighttime, ho. Yeah, bam, jam, oh, boom, yeah, oh, round, ding, ding, don't want to boom, jam, boom, ring, no. Wow. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Always love hanging out with you guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm tired. You're tired. Let's all go to bed and say good night.